What is the career path in tech sales? So, before I get started, I just want to let y'all know that there's no such thing as a typical tech sales career path. So when you start out, you'll probably either start out as an SDR, BDR, CDR, or ADR. But after that, there are countless different ways to advance your tech sales career. The next most common step from SDR is to get promoted to an account executive. But you could go straight into a management role and even become a SDR manager. It just really depends on what you want to do and where you feel comfortable at. You can also transition into a customer success role, marketing role, or operations role. So I've literally seen tech salespeople go from becoming a software engineering to a product manager, or a SDR to a marketing. So there's no such thing as tech sales not being there's no such thing as tech sales being a dead end job, because that's just not true. All right. So in this video, we're gonna go over SDR, SDR manager, account executive, um, sales manager, sales director, head of sales, VP of sales, and then the chief revenue officer. So let's go ahead and dive in. For this video, I took this screenshot off of Course Careers because I feel like they had a good example of what this actually looks like and all the different paths that you can go through. And they broke it down from entry level, mid career, and then late career. So I thought that was very interesting. Now, if you're somebody you're interested in getting started in tech sales and you're just trying to figure out what you need to do, I would highly recommend clicking the link down below. It will take you to Course Careers. Course Careers offers a free introductory course that pretty much tells you what it is, what you can expect to earn, and how can you actually get started. After that, and you really think about it, if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. But then I would recommend go ahead and take the course. Now, if you go through my affiliate link in the description, you do get $50 off. Along with that, I could be your coach. I'm more than glad to help you out with anything that you need help with preparing for the exam, because Course Careers does offer a proctored exam in order to get certified. And if you just need help with accountability, mock interviews, all that good stuff, I'll be more than glad to help you. Just reach out to me via LinkedIn. All right, so let's get started first with SDR. So SDR is right here. As you can see, SDR gets paid anywhere between 60K to 80K, and that's on target earnings, OTE. So on target earnings is your base pay plus what you are expected to get in your commission from hitting quota. So that's pretty good starting out with no experience in sales. You're looking to make anywhere between 60K and 80K a year. All right. And so SDR is also known as a sales development representative. And then you have BDR, which stands for business development representative. And then you have ADR. For some companies, it is agency development representative, or it could be account development representative. All of these positions are entry level tech sales roles that are very similar to SDR. And I'm not going to go into depth about what all these mean. I can make another video. I just don't want to make this video too long. But essentially, um, SDR, BDR, CDR, and then CDR means customer development representative. All of these entry level XDR jobs deal with working with the front end customer. Okay, so That's all that that means. So, for example, an SDR's goal is to generate new leads and new opportunities and set appointments for the account executive. So, how you would achieve this goal is simply by doing outbound, cold call, cold email, social selling, and then also you have the inbound qualifying, which means that you're initially taking calls, taking chats, and you're qualifying these leads and seeing if they would actually be a good fit to pass over to the account executive. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. The SDR role is honestly the most difficult position to have, right? So this position will make a lot of people that are not serious about tech sales quit because it's just the constant rejection. It's the constant, being told no and things like that. Not everybody is going to like hearing no, right? So it takes that mental toughness, it takes that resilience to really get past the no's in order to find yeses. But if you hang it in there a little bit, you wait a good 9 to 14 months, maybe a year, year and a half, then eventually you will get promoted and you will be able to move forward to these other positions. Okay. So that's really something to think about. Let's see. Oops. So after this, after you put in your hard work, you work there for a year, year and a half, then you can either get promoted to an account executive, which the account executive is honestly the most popular, it's the most common role jump that I see. So an account executive, as you can see, the pay goes up. You're looking at anywhere between 100K to 210K a year, and that's on target earnings. So that's base pay plus commission. And you may be wondering, wow, that's a huge pay jump. And that's simply because account executive, their role is to actually close the deal. So account executive's goal is to get that money. It's to get the bag, right? So when you get to this role, you have to have a lot of product knowledge, a lot of people skills, and you have to be good at pitching, doing demos, and handling objections, and then following up, getting contracts signed, and collecting payment. So that's what your job is as a account executive. So you don't have to worry about actively going out there and finding your leads, finding your prospects. The sales development representative takes care of that. But as an account executive, you have to be very good at asking discovery questions, qualifying questions, paying questions to figure out what that customer or what that prospects or leads pain points are, and really tailoring your demo to show them, hey, this product or service really can solve your pain points. So you have to be really, really good at listening, but not only that, tailoring every conversation that you have with a potential client to their needs, to their issues, and really being that person to solve their problems. All right. So next we have a sales development manager, and their job is to pretty much manage and motivate the sales development representatives. Um, so if you are successful at being an SDR, your company will want to leverage the skills that you already possess and the knowledge that you have to help develop other new sales development representatives. And they want you to pretty much duplicate your skills onto them, right? So you're basically deciding between staying as a individual contributor or making that transition to a manager. So with being a manager, it's way more responsibility. It's like you're watching your little kids, making sure that they're doing what they need to do, having a lot of one-on-ones, having team meetings, and really leading that team to success. So, and just because you're good at being a sales development representative doesn't mean that you'll be good at being a sales development manager, right? A manager is a whole nother skill set that you will have to master because you're looking out for yourself, but not only that, you're looking out for your team of sales development representatives. So as you can see here, they're looking to make anywhere between 110K to 190K, right? So, account executive is a closing role. Sales development manager is more so you're just managing sales development representatives. All right. So, next we have the sales engineer. Sales engineer, they can look to make anywhere between 90K to 140K. Sales engineer is very much so more techie. They are in charge of solving very complex scientific issues that your average sales development won't know how to do. So, a sales engineer takes that technical knowledge of the product or service they are selling with a strong interpersonal communication skill, right? So, they master both. They're very smart when it comes to technological, like processes, systems, understanding everything, right? And then they're also really good at interpersonal communications, which you do need that to be successful at sales. All right, next we have a senior sales engineer. Essentially, they oversee the sales engineer, just making sure that they do everything correctly, making sure that they're following their processes and systems correctly. As you can see here, you can look to make anywhere between 110K to 180K a year. All right, so I know I kind of jumped. As you can see here, we have a senior account executive. Senior account executive is similar to a sales development manager. However, they oversee the account executive, just making sure that the account executives are doing their job, training them to get better. Essentially, they're just overseeing what the account executive is doing and making sure that their closing ratios are high, making sure that if they're struggling with objections, that they are learning how to get better and how to overcome those objections a lot smoother. And as you can see here, you can look to make anywhere between 140K to 280K per year. All right, moving on. Next, we have the late career. Late career ranges anywhere between 5 to 10 years of experience, guys. As you can see, this is a huge pay jump from starting entry level with 0 to 1 years of experience all the way to 1 to 5 years of experience. You're going anywhere between 60K all the way up to 280K, guys. That's huge. This is why I like tech sales so much, guys, because the path is already laid out for you. You can go different routes, different avenues, right? And there's so much room for growth here. All right, so late career. We have our sales manager. Sales manager essentially is in charge of overseeing this whole line. They're in charge of overseeing the senior account executive, the account executive, and the sales manager. I mean, in the sales development. So essentially, account executive answers to executive, senior account executive answers to sales manager. So they can look anywhere between making 140K to 280K a year in salary. All right, let's see. Next, we have a enterprise account executive. Now, enterprise, this just think of big deals, big money, big companies, big company profiles, big company portfolios that you're working with. Big money to be made here. So in order to handle a um, an enterprise account executive, you have to be very good at handling a lot of tough objections, really being able to outperform your peers to really claim this role because they don't just put anybody in this role. You have to be the best of the best of the best of the best to get an enterprise account executive. Because look at that money, man. You're closing huge deals. You can make anywhere between 190K to 580K a year, which is huge. So look at enterprise account executive compared to just your regular account executive. Your regular account executive is handling small, medium-sized accounts, while your enterprise account executive is handling big accounts like thousands and millions of dollars size accounts, right? And so they get paid handsomely. Handsomely. So plenty money to be made there. All right. Don't want to kind of jump around like I did last time. Next, we have the director of sales. So it just keeps on going up and up and up and up. So the director of sales, here's how I like to think about it. The director of sales is like they're the head of the sales department, right? Sales manager, you can have multiple sales managers that are in charge of different territory areas. Like you can have sales managers that are just in charge of the East Coast, and then you have a sales manager that is just in charge of the West Coast, right? The director of sales is in charge of all those sales managers. So it just keeps on going like up and up and up. So sales manager, they answer to director of sales, right? And then the director of sales answers to the VP of sales. The VP of sales answers to the chief revenue officer. The chief revenue officer answers to the chief executive officer. So it just goes up and up and up. All right. But the director of sales is somebody that manages the sales manager, which they manage the account executive, and they they also would manage like the head of sales, which manage the sales director, and things like that. So, all right, you can look to make anywhere between 160K to 320K a year. Next, we have the VP of sales, vice president of sales. Kind of already get the gist. As you can see, they're in charge of the director of sales. So they can make anywhere between 210K to 700K a year. All right, going back over here, we have the engineering part. So you have your sales engineer manager. They're simply in charge of senior sales engineer and then sales engineer. You can make anywhere between 130K to 200K. The director of sales engineering is pretty much like what it says in the word. They direct and they oversee sales engineer managers, senior sales engineer, and then sales engineer. They can look to make anywhere between 150K to 250K a year. And then this trickles down to VP of sales. So I like how it has different career paths that you can take. So for example, if you're a sales development representative and you were like, hey, I feel like I'm way more technical than, you know, I want to do more technical stuff, but also keep that sales part, then you can move into sales engineer. And then if you really love sales engineer and you want to move up, then you can move to senior sales engineer. And then if you want to manage other sales engineers, you can do that. And then if you want to oversee, so it's just This is how that ladder will look like. And then you can also, over the course of 5 to 10 years, be in that VP of sales position. Okay, let's say, for example, you're a sales development representative and you just want to get into a closing role. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to get into a closing role, right? And so this is my path that I can take all the way up to maybe, who knows, a chief executive officer. And then let's say if I just wanted to be a sales development representative and I want to manage other sales development representatives, well, that's the position that I can shoot for. Okay. And then same thing with enterprise account executive. Got to start out as a small account executive managing, well, nothing small about it, but you have to start out as an account executive managing either small to medium size. And then from that, you get better, more seasoned, more senior. Then you become an account executive. And then from there, you can become an enterprise account executive. All right, I think we left off here. So you have a chief revenue officer. You already know they're in charge of that money. They're in charge of making sure that all these people are generating money, revenue, money. And then you can expect to make anywhere between 300K to $1 million a year. And then let's say if you land that boss CEO status, which you're overseeing the whole sales department, right? Then you can look anywhere between 550K a year to 1.5 million a year. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that gives you some type of idea of what that career path looks like, and it gets you motivated. I get you motivated to want to be a part of tech sales and actually build a career in tech sales, guys, because quite honestly, tech is going nowhere. That job security is there. And I do personally believe that tech sales is a good career. On my personal experience, the company that I work for treats me well. Um, they take their time. They help me grow. So I'm just very fortunate to have discovered tech sales, and my mission is to simply help other people get into tech sales and start a good career and have a really solid career path that they are realizing, okay, maybe tech sales is not a dead end job. Because I feel like some people get into tech sales and don't really even know what the hell it is. They just kind of just got lucky and landed in tech sales. So that now you see what this would look like, what your career path would look like, guys. So and there were other tech sales career paths that I didn't mention. Like I didn't mention customer success, which is something that you can become. You can become a customer success representative, which you're pretty much upselling current customers. You can be a you can be in revenue operations, you can be in sales operations, sales enablement, you can be in content marketing, product marketing, event marketing. So I didn't even name those, but there's a lot that you can do just from starting out as a sales development representative. So with that being said, don't want to make this video too long. If you're interested in starting in tech sales, be sure to click the link down below for a free introductory course to Course Careers. Course Careers is where I got my start in tech sales, and it pretty much helped me land a job in a very quick manner, in a very quick time limit. And yeah, so hit me up if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and reach out to me on LinkedIn if you do decide to go with the course. Hit me up once you sign up, and I'll be glad to help you and be your accountability coach. With that being said, I'll see you later. Bye.